A mountain, you say? Past Araka says with a grin. How informative. So all I need to do in order to avoid your past mistake is to stay clear of any mountains, and then perhaps you're not as useless after all. Maybe I would snatch you from that girl's neck and make you into a pet of my own, so that you can tell me everything you've learned during your 5,000 years of life. You wish you could do that, you worthless copy of a banshee, Pratnararka says. Well, I'll be done with you. When I'll be done with you, there won't be a speck of dust left from your carcass. How about you keep quiet for a second while I quickly annihilate all of your friends, Parasaraka says. We'll have plenty of time to talk afterwards when I'll be wearing you as a piece of jewelry around my neck. Attack past Taraka with my dagger. Try to stall for time in hopes that the others can come up with a plan. Huh. I think the only way to survive this is to let Araka out. Yeah, let's let her out. You won't be able to take us down that easily, I say, as I take out my dagger and begin to approach her. I'm not here to play games with you, boy, Past Araka says. If I want you dead, then you're dead. She then waves her hand towards me, and I can feel every part of my body drying up quickly as my vision starts to blur. Oh, and you can forget about trying to use your powers to save him, Time Weaver, Araka says, as I'm slowly beginning losing my consciousness. The first thing I did when I arrived was to cast a spell that prevented everyone in the area from using time powers. Your friend is dead, and you will all follow him soon enough. Okay, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought that I would let her out, and then she will fight the present, the past. Wait. Oh, I'm stupid. For fuck's sake. I attacked past Araka with a dagger because I thought what I thought by past Araka was what I thought that the amulet Araka is who I was attacking. Maybe? I have no idea what happened, but I'm dead. Who cares? The last thing I see is Araka waving her hand towards the others as well, and then I lose my consciousness completely while turning it to dust. Sure. Oh, it was past Araka. I thought it was said like the amulet version of Araka. That's what I was imagining I'm attacking, to let her free so that she can fight the Araka that we are seeing in front of us, and then Selkram would reverse time to put her back in her amulet or some shit. Okay. Try to stall for time in the hopes that the others can come up with a plan. Are you sure you want to kill us? I say. Think about it for a second. The Araka from our present time probably won't give you any more information that she already did, but the rest of us have been traveling with her for a long time. We could know some of her secrets. We could trade you that information in exchange for our freedom. You got nerves of steel trying to barter with me. I'll give you that, Past Araka says, with her malicious grin back on her face. But what kind of information could you possibly give me that I couldn't find out by myself? There are certain events from your future that didn't exactly turn out the best for you, I say. Wouldn't you rather have an edge by knowing these things in advance? It costs us nothing to give you this information. This is not our world, after all. No matter what you choose to do in here, it will not affect us. Your offer would be much more tempting if your real intentions weren't so transparent, boy, Past Araka says. I know that what you're trying to do. You're trying to stall for time until your time viewer friend can use her powers to freeze time. It's not going to work. The first thing I did after I arrived in this place was to cast a spell that prevented everyone in this area from using time powers. I figured that one of you would have to be a time weaver, given that Selkram was involved. Your friend over there has been trying to cast a time freezing spell for the past minute, but she gets hit with a huge headache every time she begins to concentrate. Your desperate attempts to delay the inevitable have no effect on your current situation, none whatsoever. I mean, there's so much magic in the area. Oh right, I forgot about this. I think they mentioned at some point the stat device does not give stat points out depending on how much magic power is available in the area. It depends on how many mages are available in the area, apparently, or something like that. I don't know why that's better than having just more magical power, but sure. An avalanche of flames coming from the right engulfs Araka just as she was finishing her speech, and we were forced to step back because even the air surrounding those flames felt like it could melt off our skin. Araka was clearly caught unaware, and she was trying to push back the flames with her hand as she's struggling to keep hold of a magical shield. The whole ground below her is quickly turning into lava, while the banshee looks like she is getting slowly pushed back by the incredible force of the magical flames. They just keep on pouring. Eventually, she's forced to teleport away 50 feet above her current location, which causes the flames to immediately stop. Then, completely out of the blue, a familiar-looking dragon made of magma appears right next to us, and in the next second, we find ourselves being teleported away from the city along with him. As we take a quick look around to see where the dragon Tyra had transported us, we realize that we are now situated in a large building with a very high ceiling, and from the looks of it, the whole construction surrounding us have been coated with ceridium dust. The inside of the building is... Ceridium dust is that thing that causes like shit to look like really dark, and like magic sense cannot really go through it. Isn't that it? I think that's it, but I'm not 100% on that. The whole construction surrounding us has been coated with cerulean dust. The inside of the building looks like a big closed amphitheater with rising rows of seats, and the illumination seems to be coming from magical devices rather than torches. Judging by the size of the amphitheater, I'd say that it could probably fit around 1,000 people or more in these seats, although currently there are only a few hundred of them sitting on the chairs while they're murmuring and looking towards us. If I were to take a guess based on the important looking clothing of these individuals, I'd wager they have been these must be the people ruling the city who were in an emergency meeting discussion before the city being attacked before we interrupted them. Meanwhile, in the middle of the amphitheater where the dragon and our group are currently standing, there are also quite a few human mages gathered, all dressed in traditional wizard clothing, along with a few women who are dressed in wizard robes as well. A particularly old man with a long white beard, who seems to be the person presiding over the meeting, is now addressing Tyrath from an elevated platform, speaking to him in a tone that is somehow both polite and condescending at the same time. Who are these strangely dressed wizards that you have brought before the Lesethi High Council, King of all Dragons? The old man says. I thought we'd made it clear that this meeting was supposed to be held behind closed door when we invited you into a great hall, but did not give you permission to bring guests as well. Nobody asked for your permission, you fool. You old fool, Tyrath says in disgust. You know full well that I wouldn't be here if the situation weren't as dire as it was. This powerful female wizard named Araka, who claims to have come from another plane of existence, is a threat to us all. I fought her soon after she made her appearance yesterday. I can assure you that she is not an enemy to be trifled with. My whole army of dragons were completely powerless before her. Only I was powerful enough to hold her back, but not enough to actually defeat her. You should already have an idea of the extent of her powers now that she is attacked your city as well. If you know how dire the situation is, then why do you bring uninvited guests in the middle of this very important meeting? Old Lesethi says. What benefit could they possibly bring to us in such circumstances? These people are not what they seem, Tyrath says. I overheard Araka saying that one of them was a time weaver while I was making my way towards the hall, and if you look closely, you will see the aura coming from the amulet around the little girl's neck is eerily similar to that of Araka. So similar in fact that I would be tempted to say that two of them have somehow the same person. Araka we know was about to kill them all before I intervened. Surely even someone as limited as you could see the advantage of having these people as our allies. But at what cost? Another Lesethi from High Council says as he raises himself from the seat. I've only just received word from my men that through the transceiver that they have told me that your downpour of flames from early have caused the deaths of more than 100 civilians. Was it worth it to kill so many innocent people just to save this small group? Even if my flames hadn't killed them, they would have been most certainly gotten killed by Araka in a few moments. Tyrath says, your civilians were practically already dead from the moment when she stepped foot in that area. There are currently hundreds of flying metal vehicles crashed into the nearby houses when I arrived. Araka hasn't even started a rampage yet, and every moment wasted arguing here will mean the death of 100 more of her civilians until we manage to put together a plan of attack that has some realistic chance of success. I will have to agree with Tyrath that arguing any further will get us nowhere, Old Lesethi says. Please sit down, Counselor. What? Relazar? Whatever name is that. We will be interrogating this strange group of wizards shortly, and we will soon find out whether the deaths of our fellow countrymen were worth it or not. The Lesethi man that stood up earlier is now reluctantly sitting back down as the older Lesethi addresses one of the women dressed in wizardly robes. Olra, can you please continue where you left off before we were interrupted? The older Lesethi says, yes, Shazman Eziloff. What type of names are these? Fucking hell. The woman says, as I've said, none of us have ever experienced anything like this before. Our magical powers have simply vanished yesterday, and we found no way to bring them back. For some reason, only the women seem to be affected, but even some of our strongest female wizards have been reduced to simple commoners in the course of a day. We have tried many methods to stimulate our magical auras, but none of them seem to work. If this doesn't get fixed, half our elite wizard troops will be completely useless in the upcoming battle. This is grave news indeed, Aslov says. The female wizards from our elite troops were a force to be reckoned with. Our highest priority must be find a way to bring their powers back at all cost. Ha, Araka says from her amulet. You can try all you want. Your women are never getting their magic back. What are you talking about? Aslov says. Don't you find it strange that all your women lost their powers on this exact same day that the past version of myself made her appearance? Araka says. Of course you didn't, you morons. Well, let me spell it out for you. The reason why your women are able to cast magic until yesterday was because they were subconsciously linked themselves. That doesn't make any sense. They were subconsciously linked, it should be, themselves wouldn't be there then, to female spirits from the magical plane. Since yesterday was obviously the day when I and all other female spirits got banished from the plane of existence, their magic will never work anymore. You might as well give them some swords and shield to fight with, because that's the most you will be able to get out of those troops from now on. You call the other Araka past version of yourself, Tarot says. Does that mean you're coming from the future? Impressive, Tarot. Araka says, I've never knew that you had mastered basic logic at such a young age. I guess that's why the other dragons made you their king. Spare me your insipid humor. Answer me this, Araka says. Why have you come here? Why are you fighting Araka from our time? Did you come here to avert some great crisis, or did you simply happen to arrive in this place by pure chance? Actually, we were sent here against our own will. We are here to save you all from this great threat. Sorry, we only came here on vacation. That is hilarious.